Well, there are legacy of issues, chief of which is the culture of impunity, which Dr. Matiang'i epitomizes and exemplified, particularly when he served as the Interior Cabinet Secretary. But I specifically wanted to refer to many instances where Dr. Matiang'i subjected not just me to atrocious abuse, torture, and violations of my constitutional and human rights, but also defied multiple court orders in an egregious and unconscionable manner. Dr. Matiang'i exemplified the abuse of power in its purest form. And then when you hosted him, I barely had him interrogated on what he did. The Rivayala murders, the abduction that he engaged in, the destruction of my house, my abduction and detention in Comunicado, and torture of many days in defiance of multiple court orders. His forceful exile of me, one when I was sedated and unconscious and dumped in Dubai, and then subsequently him issuing illegal red alerts and stopping me from returning to Kenya for 5 long years. If we want to transform the country, and I believe we do as Kenyans, we cannot tolerate, entertain, and coddle characters like Matiang'i, who have not been punished, even though there were several court orders that found not just that he subverted the constitution, that he was unfit to hold public office.
Okay.
He has not honored any of those court orders. He has not paid the damages that he was awarded to pay, including the conviction by Justice Odunga on March 28, 2018, which he has not purged, the contempt conviction that he has not purged.
Talked about the unfit part of him holding office. But where then do you draw the line? Because you supported the appointing authority, President Uhuru Kenyatta, whose government was accused of gross human rights violations, and including the nil objectivity in terms of implementing the TJRC report, which had received more than 40,000 submissions, including exiling Kenyans, including you in 1988-87, and also the Wagala massacre and land injustices in Kenya. Where is the moral authority?
You see, the problem with the Kenyan media, including yourself, is that instead of embracing your role, which is enshrined in the Constitution, to speak truth to power, to represent public interest, to advocate for public interest, and to be able to project accurate historical facts, you are engaged in propaganda. Uhuru Kenyatta was not president in 1987 when I was detained and exiled by President Moi. Uhuru Kenyatta was president in 2013.
Well, Dr. Miguna, to just pause you. Dr. Miguna, to just yeah, you will finish up. So that you get it correct, Dr. Miguna, allow me to point this out.
But you allow me to finish my statement first.
Dr. Let's be civil and we stick to the issues. What I pointed out was the question of the moral authority here. You have accused Dr. Matiang'i of the Rivayala killings. Agreed, rights of Kenyans were violated. But you supported the appointing authority in 2017, whose administration, when the TJRC report was launched, had virtually nil intention to implement it for Kenyans who were exiled out of their country, who were killed during the Wagala massacre, whose lands were forcefully taken to get justice. That is the administration whose candidate you supported in 2017 and who was the appointing authority of Dr. Fred Matiang'i.
You are distorting things, Mr. Abdikadir. And I'm going to correct you, and please don't interrupt me. Because if you interrupt me and I don't interrupt you, then we cannot engage in a civil conversation. Number one, you are trying to run away from the fact that it was Uhuru Kenyatta and Dr. Matiang'i who invaded my house and destroyed it on the 2nd of February 2018. I don't want you to run around and to avoid that fact. I could not have supported the destruction of my house. Of course, after I was abducted and tortured in violation of the Constitution and all my rights, and in defiance of court orders, Dr. Matiang'i went on television and released a statement after 6 days of my torture, brutal torture, which you refuse to acknowledge. And I have a copy of what Dr. Matiang'i released to the media, and I will read it. I, Fred Matiang'i, PhD, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government, responsible for immigration matters, blah, 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 hereby declare that Miguna, who is not a citizen of Kenya and whose presence in Kenya is contrary to national interest, be removed from Kenya to his country of origin, Canada, and further direct that the said Miguna remain in prison custody while arrangements for removal are being undertaken. He signed this on the 6th of February 2018 after Justice Wakiaga had issued an order of habeas corpus directing Dr. Matiang'i to release me, and after Justice Kimaru had issued repeated orders for my release, and that if he had any charges against me, he should take me to court. You're trying to run away from that.
Okay.
You see, the problem with the Kenyan media is that you have never even showed the destruction of my home. You've never actually even played clips of it. You have never played the clips of my torture. You've never played clips when Dr. Matiang'i violated and defied court orders and took me to the court in Kajiado and then forcefully removed me from Kenya on the 6th of February 2018, and for him to have done the same on March 26th and continue to do so in violation of many, many court orders. You're trying to run away from that, but I will not allow you, because that's why I came today for this interview.
All right.
I'm not going to go back to where you want to go back to, because that has nothing to do with what I came here to talk about. And I'm going to focus on violations and egregious abuses that Dr. Matiang'i engaged in.
Yes. Dr.
This
Miguna,
is my passport Dr. Matiang'i actually destroyed, physically destroyed.
Okay.
This is my valid Kenyan passport.
Okay.
Let's talk about these issues, because if we don't, we are not going to help this country.
Given the circumstances and the violations of the rights that were committed, what then is the way forward? What are the remedies you are seeking for? And give us a status update.
So Ayub, I'm in Ontario, which is a province. The city is called Toronto. So let me say this. Let me begin by saying this. There is a statement that is attributed to Voltaire, that those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. It's very important that Kenyans are not made to believe absurdities. And absurdities are ridiculous or unreasonable things. So Dr. Matiang'i, for example, was convicted on the 28th of March, 2018 by Justice Odunga. He was sentenced on the 29th of March, 2018. He has never complied with those orders. Dr. Matiang'i was also found culpable for the egregious atrocities that he committed against me by Justice Chacha Mwita on the 14th of December 2018 in a very seminal judgment. He has not complied with the judgment and the orders there. And the orders there are numerous. There were many other orders that Dr. Matiang'i were issued against Dr. Matiang'i by Justice Kimaru on the 15th of February, the 16th of February, the 26th of February 2018. He has not complied with any of that. When he was interviewed on Citizen TV, I heard him saying that there should be an inquest or some kind of inquiry. You cannot have an inquest on completed proceedings where one has been convicted or one has been adjudged to have been culpable for things and orders have been issued against him. We simply need enforcement of those orders. Now, clearly, the regime of William Ruto is not interested in enforcing the orders or making sure that those orders are complied with. One of the things that ought to have been done was to actually put people like Dr. Matiang'i, Dr. Karanja Kibicho, and Said Kiprotich and Kinoti in jail for disobeying court orders, because that's a crime, for having done the things that they did. Now, civilly, I have also sued Dr. Matiang'i and others for damages arising from the torts that they committed. For example, the torture, the illegal arrest and detention, the illegal or forceful removal from Kenya and blocking me from returning to Kenya for 5 years. That matter is currently ongoing in court, even though Mr. Ruto had said to me when I returned to Kenya in 2022 that he would instruct the former Attorney General, Muturi, to be able to resolve those matters. Of course, like any other lie that he has told to many other Kenyans, he did not comply with that undertaking. So that matter is ongoing, and I will be seeking huge damages against both the individuals that perpetrated the injuries that I have articulated in my claim, and also, of course, the government of Kenya, because they purported to have done that in their role as public officers.
Okay.
So that's a short answer to your question.
Thanks, Daktari, because you have also brought in the other pertinent matter, which is on the current state of affairs in the country. And on start, let's begin with President William Ruto, who he said has lied to the Kenyan people. And to quote you, in the run-up to the elections, you said, I, Miguna, 100% endorse William Ruto, and I ask Kenyans to vote for him so that we can put to an end the dynastic tyranny in Kenya. How did you get it so wrong?
I did not get it wrong. I got it exactly right. So, number one, Ayub, in 2022, Miguna had been locked out of the country in forced exile in violation of all the rights that everybody else had. In fact, in a situation where Chacha Mweta, the Honorable Judge, said there has never been a more serious violation like the one that I faced. Nobody in the Republic of Kenya, since the so-called independence, has ever been removed from the country of his birth and citizenship and sent to a different country and locked from coming back to Kenya and his passport destroyed. That has never happened. So when that happened, and Raila Odinga, the con man, then joined Uhuru Kenyatta, even though Uhuru Kenyatta purported to have done with Matiang'i what they did against me, because I swore Raila Odinga in, among other concoctions. Raila Odinga supported that. Raila Odinga supported my sedation and injection of poison into my blood. Raila Odinga supported the destruction of my home with explosives. Raila Odinga supported all the atrocities that were committed against other Kenyans that supported me, who were protesting and were killed, and I can name them. So when this happened, and now Uhuru Kenyatta was supporting Raila Odinga to be the president of Kenya, and I was interested in coming back to Kenya, There was only one alternative, and if you put yourself in that position, you would have to ask the question, what would you have done? All these things have happened to you. You are locked out of your country. The only thing that any reasonable person would have done, and which I did, is to make sure that Uhuru Kenyatta and his project Raila Odinga were defeated. And in that instance, the only person who could defeat them was William Ruto. And William Ruto had already undertaken publicly that if he won the election, he would be able to obey the court orders that were in my favor. He would return the passport, he would remove the red alerts, he would allow me to return to my country of birth. And he did. So to ask the question, and this is what ties into Voltaire's statement, that those who can make you believe absurdities can actually make you commit atrocities. Because now you want Kenyans to believe an absurdity that I supported what William Ruto is doing now in 2025 and in 2024, which I have consistently opposed. William Ruto did not kill Kenyans in 2022. William Ruto was not the one who bombed my house. William Ruto was not the one who exiled me for 5 years. It was Uhuru Kenyatta, supported by Raila Odinga, and Matiangi was at the head of it. So those are facts, and we have to stay with the facts.
Okay.
Enyewe, Ruto must go. Enyewe, Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go. Enyewe, Ruto must go. Wash your fire, Ruto must go. Enyewe, Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go.